Welcoming you inside another edition of the SVG News sponsor, Spotlight. Brandon Costa from Sports Video Group. It's not the sexiest part of the job, which is keeping track of all of your equipment, knowing where everything is, monitoring, knowing when you're going to get it back. That's why it's nice to have someone who can help you out with that, which is why we're so happy to be joined by Cheqroom, which is one of SVG's newest sponsors. We're joined by Vincent Theeten. He's the company's CEO. Vincent, wonderful to see you. How you doing, sir? Happy New Year.
Hey, Brandon. Good New Year to you as well.
So
Glad to be here.
Yeah. So how does Check Room specifically alleviate maybe the stresses that come around with, probably one of the more stressful sides of the operation sides of the business, which is just keeping track of all of your equipment, and knowing where it is. How do you all help with that?
Well, definitely, it's one of the stresses that barely gets seen from the outside. So if you're a spectator of sports, you don't know what's going on at all. What Checkroom does is we're actually an equipment management platform that makes everything easier, right? We help some of the biggest brands in the world make sure that that equipment room that you don't see, that it runs like clockwork, right? So we make sure that at least those companies have the visibility of the assets they own, that those assets are ready to go at any given time, that those things are available because like any good shoot, any good project needs that stuff ready. And then at last, also like a way to hold people accountable. Like our
Mhm.
platform really allows you to work with people you barely know, even that go out with your very expensive equipment and hopefully come back in great shape as well.
For sure. So who are some of the big players? I know you've already entrenched not only into the entertainment industry, but you got some big players on the sports side as well. What are some examples of folks you've worked with?
Well, you have the big media broadcasters, the sport broadcasters, the Fox Sports and ESPNs of the world. But
Mhm.
obviously, there's more than that. There's even the equipment for teams as well, the NFLs, NBAs, the NHLs of the world, some of the bigger sports golf tournaments as well. So those people all experience the same kind of problem with equipment, kind of level set, knowing what you have in order for those nice looking images for the spectators to actually be there on the screen.
So as a single product kind of company, when someone gets involved with you all, what's that process like? Like, what is it about working with Check Room that, makes this an easier process than maybe it would be if you tried to do it on your own?
Of course, like the way how people do it today,
Mhm.
it's pretty obvious. It's either pen and paper and spreadsheets. And what we try to do as a
Yeah.
platform is at least play well with whatever you've done already. That means integrating or importing lists of equipment that you have sitting there in an Excel or in a spreadsheet, making sure that those enter in the inventory platform and we kind of unlock it or open it up for other people. That means that your entire team and even outsiders can join, get the full picture of the inventory, and can even in the studio or on the road just open their app and see like, hey, what equipment is it that I have? What am I missing? What if it breaks down? Because often it happens as well. What if it breaks down? Can I just flag it as being broken? I can add a little bit of a context, like pictures of what exactly happened. We actually make sure that that check room creates the nice workflow. So your equipment repair guy can be notified automatically, like pieces are pulled out of available equipment automatically. We make sure that those things happen in a very frictionless way.
Sure. Now, I know for a fact that there's a lot of SVGers, especially those who work on the operations side, who are watching this right now, who are probably twitching a little bit because when you get them in a corner and you talk about them, talk to them one to one, everyone is talking about, yeah, the supply chain issues that still exist and shipping costs and shipping times and things like that. So what you guys offer is what, like we said, it might not be known to the general fan, but immensely crucial for people who work in this industry. For someone like you who sits in the C-suite chair that you do, when you look ahead to 2024, what's maybe a key trend in the industry that you're keeping an eye on? Are those things are those problems alleviating a bit, or is the opportunity still there for a company like you to play a really integral role? What are you keeping an eye on going into the new year?
There's a couple of trends that make me super happy because they kind of build into what I'm trying to make as a difference for makers, right? For
Mhm.
video producers. I think there's a big trend of doing more with less. That means
Mhm.
the same
Yep.
amount of people doing more projects or faster projects. I also see a second trend of like setups getting a lot more mobile. That to get a flight pack gets shipped off to a location and comes back the week afterwards already. Like those things are very very hard, or if not impossible to do in an old way, in the paper pen and paper way with text messages or spreadsheets. That's where we come in, and that's what makes me happy because we kind of optimize the software to play well in those environments.
I feel like this is a perfect New Year's resolution kind of way to start the year talking talking about this kind of
Totally.
stuff. So we're
Yeah.
really, really thrilled to have you and Cheqroom aboard the SVG family, Vincent. Thanks so much for taking the time today, and we look forward to continue to working with you throughout the year.
Of course. Glad to be here.
All right, again, he is Vincent Theeten. He is the CEO of Cheqroom. You can learn more about them over at their website, which is cheqroom.com. That's CHEQ room.com. And for more video interviews like this, to learn more about the sponsors supporting our great organization here at SVG, you can head over to our website at sportsvideo.org and watch more videos at our video platform, SVG Play.